Good morning, everybody. I am back. I am back doing my reading through the Bible. I was kind of gone for a minute there. I apologize for that, but things happen and here we are. So I'm going to go ahead and get started again. I'm doing every morning. I'm going to try my best to do 6 in the morning. Unless there's a better time, you guys let me know. But I'll be trying to do about 6 in the morning from 6 to 6:30 and just reading through the Bible. So I'm going to give people a little bit of time to get in here. And then once I see that there's a few people in, I will get started just to kind of go through and uh, let you know I'm not doing a Bible study. I'm not doing anything like that right now. I'm just literally reading through the Bible, trying to give you guys an opportunity to hear the word, maybe as you're getting ready for work or school or just cleaning or whatever. You can just put it on in the background, kind of like a free digital or a free ebook or what, I don't know what you call it, but I'll just be reading through it. I started a few months ago, kind of took a little bit of a hiatus, unfortunately, but I am back and we're going to just start where we left off. I left off at Leviticus 16, and like I was doing before, I'm just going to go ahead and read for half an hour. Again, this way you can hear the word, retain it like an audiobook so that it's free and all you have to do is just listen for half an hour. I know life gets busy. You start, doing things and you don't get a chance to read the word as often as you would like. This way you can hear it while you're doing other things. And that's it. God called me to do this a few months ago and I started, and then life got in the way. So I'm starting again and I'm going to do this every day. I do it on the weekends as well. I think the time probably will be about 7 or 8 on the weekends and then 6 during the week, unless something works better. You guys let me know. I'm not really sure, but be sure to hit the like, give me some hearts there. If you are inclined to give a gift, I appreciate it. Obviously not necessary, but I appreciate it. But definitely, be sure to give me some hearts so that, TikTok knows that you enjoy it. And then once I finish this live, I do post it over on YouTube so that if you missed it or you want to listen to it again, it'll be over on YouTube once we're done here. So there's that. So all right, so like I said, I left off on Leviticus 16, or that's where I'm going to start. So here we go. And quick little prayer. Lord, I just pray, God, that whoever this is for, whoever you have called me to reach out to and be a blessing to, I pray that they find their way over to this live or to the replay. And I pray that you are glorified. I pray that if there's anyone who is going through some struggles, Lord, I pray that you touch them and bless them right now, God, in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, here we go. So we're starting at Leviticus 16. After the death of Aaron's 2 sons, which happened when they approached the Lord and died, the Lord spoke to Moses. Tell your brother Aaron that he cannot come whenever he wants into the holy area inside the inner curtain to the front of the cover that is on the chest, or else he will die, because I am present in the cloud above the cover. No, but Aaron must enter the holy area as follows: with a bull from the herd as a purification offering, and a ram as an entirely burned offering. Aaron must dress in holy linen tunic and wear linen undergarments on his body. He must tie a linen sash around himself and wrap a linen turban around his head. These are holy clothes. Aaron will first bathe his body in water and then put them on. He will take from the Israelite community 2 male goats for a purification offering and 1 ram for an entirely burned offering. Aaron will offer the bull as a purification offering to make reconciliation for himself and his household. He will take the 2 male goats and place them before the Lord at the meeting tent's entrance. Aaron will cast lots over the 2 goats. One lot labeled the Lord's, the other lot labeled Azazel's. Aaron will present the goat selected by the Lord's lot and perform a purification offering with it. But the goat selected for Azazel's lot will be left standing alive before the Lord in order to make reconciliation upon it by sending it away into the wilderness to Azazel or Azazel. I don't know. Aaron will offer the bull for his purification offering to make reconciliation for himself and his household. He will slaughter the bull for his purification offering. Then he will take an incense pan full of burning coals from the altar from before the Lord, and 2 handfuls of finely ground perfume incense, and bring them inside the inner curtain. He will put the incense on the fire before the Lord, so that the cloud of incense conceals the cover that is on top of the covenant document, or else he will die. He will take some of the bull's blood and sprinkle it with his finger on the cover from the east side. He will then sprinkle some of the blood with his fingers 7 times in front of the cover. Then he will slaughter the goat for the people's purification offering, bring the blood inside the inner curtain, and do with it as he did with the bull's blood. He will sprinkle it on the cover and in front of the cover. In this way, he will make reconciliation for the inner holy area because of the pollution of the Israelites and because of their rebellious sins, as well as for all their other sins. Aaron must do the same for the meeting tent, which is with them among their pollution. No one can be in the meeting tent from the time Aaron enters to make reconciliation in the inner holy area until the time he comes out. He will make reconciliation for himself, for his household, and for the whole assembly of Israel. Aaron will then go to the altar that is before the Lord and make reconciliation for it. He will take some of the bull's blood and some of the goat's blood and put it on each of the altar's horns. He will sprinkle some of the blood on the altar with his finger 7 times. In this way, he will purify it and make it holy again from the Israelites' pollution. When Aaron has finished reconciling the inner holy area, the rest of the meeting tent, and the altar, he will bring forward the live goat. Aaron will press both his hands on its head and confess over it all the Israelites' offenses and all their rebellious sins, as well as their other sins, putting all these on the goat's head. Then he will send it away into the wilderness with someone designated for the job. Then he will send it away. Oh, wait, I already read that. The goat will carry on itself all their offenses to a desolate region. Then the goat will be released into the wild. After this, Aaron will enter the meeting tent, take off the linen clothes he was wearing when he entered the inner holy area, and will leave them there. He will bathe his body in water in a holy place and dress in his priestly clothing. Then he will go out and perform the entirely burned offerings for himself and for the people. In this way, he will make reconciliation for himself and for the people. He will completely burn the fat of the purification offering on the altar. The one who set the goat free for Azazel must wash their clothes and bathe their body in water. After that, they can return to the camp. The bull and the goat for the purification offerings, whose blood was brought in to make reconciliation in the inner holy area, will be taken outside the camp. Their hides, flesh, and dung will be burned with fire. The person who burns them must wash their clothes and bathe their body in water. After that, they can return to the camp. This will be a permanent rule for you. On the 10th day of the 7th month, you must deny yourselves. You must not do any work, neither the citizen nor the immigrant who lives among you. On that day, reconciliation will be made for you in order to cleanse you. You will be clean before the Lord from all your sins. It will be a Sabbath of special rest for you, and you will deny yourselves. This is a permanent rule. The priest who is anointed and ordained to serve as priest after his father will perform the reconciliation. Wearing the holy linen clothes, he will reconcile the holiest part of the sanctuary and will do the same for the meeting tent and the altar. He will make reconciliation for the priests and for all the people of the assembly. This will be a permanent rule for you in order to make reconciliation for the Israelites from all their sins once a year. It was done just as the Lord commanded Moses. The Lord said to Moses, "Say to Aaron, to his sons, and to the Israelites, this is what the Lord has commanded. Anyone from the house of Israel who slaughters an ox, sheep, or goat inside or outside the camp, but does not bring it to the meeting tent's entrance to present it as an offering to the Lord in front of the Lord's dwelling will be considered guilty of bloodshed. They have spilled blood. They will be cut off from their people. This will make the Israelites bring the communal sacrifices, which they are sacrificing in the countryside." Where are we at? To the Lord, to the priest at the meeting tent's entrance, and sacrifice them as communal sacrifices of well-being to the Lord. The priest will toss the blood against the altar, the Lord's altar at the meeting tent's entrance, and burn the fat completely as a soothing smell to the Lord. The Israelites must no longer sacrifice their communal sacrifices to the goat demons that they follow so faithlessly. This will be a permanent rule for them throughout their generations. You will also say to them, anyone from Israel's house or from the immigrants who live with you, who offer up an entirely burnt offering or communal sacrifice without bringing it to the meeting tent's entrance in order to offer it to the Lord, will be cut off from their people. I will oppose the person who consumes blood, whether they are from Israel's house or from the immigrants who live with you, and I will cut them off from their people. A creature's life is in the blood. I have provided you the blood to make reconciliation for your lives on the altar, because the blood reconciles by means of the life. This is why I have told the Israelites, no one among you can consume blood, nor can the immigrant who lives with you consume blood. Anyone who hunts any animal or bird that can be eaten, whether the hunter is an Israelite or an immigrant who lives with you, must drain its blood out and cover it with dirt. Again, for every creature's life, its blood is its life. That is why I have told the Israelites, you must not consume any creature's blood, because every creature's life is in its blood. Anyone who consumes it will be cut off. Anyone, whether citizen or immigrant, who eats an animal that has died naturally or that was killed by another animal must wash their clothes, bathe in water, and will be unclean until evening. At that time they will be clean again. If they do not wash or bathe their body, they will be liable to punishment. And I need to take a sip. Alrighty. The Lord said to Moses, "Speak to the Israelites and say to them, I am the Lord your God. You must not do things like they are done in the land of Egypt, where you used to live. And you must not do things like they are done in the land of Canaan, where I am bringing you. You must not follow the practices of those places. My regulations and my rules are the ones you must keep by following them. I am the Lord your God. You must keep my rules and my regulations. By doing them, one will live. I am the Lord. No one is allowed to approach any blood relative for sexual contact. I am the Lord. You must not uncover your father's nakedness, which is your mother's nakedness. She is your mother. You must not have sexual contact with her. You must not uncover the nakedness of your father's wife. It is your father's nakedness. You must not have sexual contact with your sister, regardless of whether she is your father's daughter or your mother's daughter, whether born into the same household as you or outside it. You must not have sexual contact with your son's daughter or your daughter's daughter, because their nakedness is your own nakedness. You must not have sexual contact with the daughter of your father's wife who was born into your father's family. She is your sister. You must not have sexual contact with your father's sister. She is your father's blood relative. You must not have sexual contact with your mother's sister, because she is your mother's blood relative. You will not uncover the nakedness of your father's brother. That is, you will not approach his wife for sex. She is your aunt. You must not have sexual contact with your daughter-in-law. She is your son's wife. You must not you must not have sexual contact with her. You will not uncover the nakedness of your brother's wife. It is your brother's nakedness. You must not have sexual contact with a woman or her daughter. You will not marry her son's daughter or her daughter's daughter, thereby uncovering her nakedness. They are her blood relatives. It is shameful. You must not marry your wife's sister as a rival and have sexual contact with her while her sister is alive. You must not approach a woman for sexual contact during her menstrual uncleanness. You must not have sexual relations with the wife of your fellow Israelite, becoming unclean by it. You must not give any of your children to offer them over to Molech, so that you do not defile your God's name. I am the Lord. You must, excuse me, give me just a second. Where did I stop? You must not have sexual intercourse with a man as you would with a woman. It is detestable practice. You will not have sexual relations with an animal, becoming unclean by it, nor will a woman present herself before an animal to mate with it. It is perversion. Do not make yourselves unclean in any of these ways, because that is how the nations that I am throwing out before you became unclean. That is also how the land became uncleaned. I held it liable for punishment, and the land vomited out its inhabitants. But all of you must keep my rules and my regulations. You must not do any of these detestable things, neither citizen nor immigrant who lives with you, because the people who had the land before you did all of these detestable things, and the land became unclean. So that the land does not vomit you out because you have made it unclean, just as it vomited out the nations that were before you. Anyone who does any of these detestable things will be cut off from their people. You must keep my requirement of not doing any of the the detestable practices that were done before you arrive, so that you don't make yourselves unclean by them. I am the Lord your God. Sorry, I got a little tongue twisted there. And let's see. Okay, so we got another 15 minutes I think I've been on for. I usually time myself, but I didn't time myself this time. So I'm giving it another 15 minutes, so probably one more chapter. The Lord said to Moses, "Say to the whole community of the Israelites, you must be holy, because I, the Lord your God, am holy. Each of you must respect your mother and father, and you must keep my Sabbaths. I am the Lord your God. Do not turn to idols or make gods of cast metal for yourselves. I am the Lord your God. When you sacrifice a communal sacrifice of well-being to the Lord your God." When you sacrifice a communal sacrifice of well-being to the Lord, offer it so that it will be accepted on your account. It must be eaten on the day of your sacrifice or the following day. Whatever is left over on the third day must be burned with fire. If any of it is eaten on the third day, it is foul. It will not be accepted. Anyone who eats it will be liable to punishment, because they defiled what is holy to the Lord. The person will be cut off from their people. When you harvest your land's produce, you must not harvest all the way to the edge of your field, and don't gather up every remaining bit of your harvest. Also, do not pick your vineyard clean, or gather up all the grapes that have fallen there. Leave those items for the poor and the immigrant. I am the Lord your God. You must not steal or deceive nor lie to each other. You must not swear falsely by my name, desecrating your God's name in doing so. I am the Lord. You must not oppress your neighbors or rob them. Do not withhold a hired laborer's pay overnight. You must not insult a deaf person or put some obstacle in front of a blind person that would cause them to trip. Instead, fear your God. I am the Lord. You must not act unjustly in a legal case. Do not show favoritism to the poor or deference to the great. You must judge your fellow Israelites fairly. Do not go around slandering your people. Do not stand by while your neighbor's blood is shed. I am the Lord. You must not hate your fellow Israelite in your heart. Rebuke your fellow Israelite in your heart. Rebuke your fellow Israelite strongly so you don't become responsible for his sin. You must not take revenge nor hold a grudge against any of your people. Instead, you must love your neighbor as yourself. I am the Lord. You must keep my rules. Do not crossbreed your livestock. Do not plant your field with two kinds of seeds, and do not wear clothes made from two kinds of material. If a man has sexual relations with a woman who is a slave engaged to another man who hasn't yet been released or given her freedom, there must be a punishment. But they will not be put to death, because she had not yet been freed. The man must bring as his compensation to the Lord at the meeting tent's entrance a ram for a compensation offering. The priest will use the ram for the compensation offering to make reconciliation for him before the Lord on account of the sin he committed. Then he will be forgiven of the sin that he committed. When you enter the land and plant any fruit tree, you must consider its fruit off limits. For 3 years it will be off limits to you. It must not be eaten. In the 4th year, all of the tree's fruit will be holy, a celebration of the Lord, for the Lord. In the 5th year you can eat the fruit. This is so as to increase its produce for you. I am the Lord your God. You must not eat anything with its blood. You must not participate in divination or fortune telling. You must not cut off the hair on your forehead or clip the ends of your beard. You do not cut your bodies for the dead or put marks on yourselves. I am the Lord. Do not defile your daughter by making her sexually promiscuous, or else the land will become promiscuous and full of shame. You must keep my Sabbaths and treat my sanctuary with respect. I am the Lord. Do not resort to dead spirits or inquire of spirits of divination. You will be made unclean by them. I am the Lord your God. You must rise in the presence of an old person and respect the elderly. You must fear God. I am the Lord. When immigrants live in your land with you, you must not cheat them. Any immigrant who lives with you must be treated as if they were one of your citizens. You must love them as yourself, because you were immigrants in the land of Egypt. I am the Lord your God. You must not act unjustly in a legal case involving measures of length, weight, or volume. You must have accurate scales and accurate weights, an accurate ephah and an accurate hin. I am the Lord your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt. You must keep all my rules and all my regulations and do them. I am the Lord. And I am going to stop the reading right there. But again, I will post this on YouTube And I thank everyone who was here today. I thank you all for just joining, and any hearts or any gifts. I wasn't really looking, so I don't know if there was anything that was given, but I appreciate you just being here. Again, share this with anybody who you think might be looking to grow closer to God, who wants to be able to read the word more often or hear the word. And just, come back tomorrow. Again, I will post a probably, might do it as a series. That way it automatically, I don't know. We'll see. I'll just stay tuned. Be sure to like and subscribe so that way you can see like when it's coming up. I may schedule it so that way you can see that it's coming up and then you don't miss it. But again, thank you so much. Be sure to check out my YouTube if you want to watch the replay. And I appreciate you guys all so very, very much. And again, thank you for being so patient with me. I know I was gone for a while there, but I am back, and I am hoping to be able to be more consistent with this and do this every day like God has commanded me to do. And that is it for today. I pray that you all have an amazing day. Be blessed and be the reason someone smiles. Bye.